I will. I will discuss it. I played a lot of football. That one's going to go down as a memorable one. Man coverage, not an ideal route for man coverage. So I was expecting to progress backside, but the corner didn't attach as fast as I thought he would. So I thought, you know what, I'll just drill it on him, avoid a sack, get out of dodge, and kind of move to a second or third and 4. Put the ball in his outside half because I felt the corner driving on his inside half. He pulls out of it, and I just kind of standing back there, we call him Red. I said, go, Red, go. And man coverage, he's able to kind of split the defense. And at that point, there's a reason we have him on our football team because he can pull away from people. And what an unbelievable play. When we won the toss, or when we kicked the field goal to go to overtime, the narrative on the sideline was, we score a touchdown, game over. And I thought, well, yeah, but you guys are acting like it's easy to go down and score a touchdown. And with the way Red did it, I guess they were right. So that was fun.
Kirk, Raphael Haynes with a 3-point conversion. First of all, I want to apologize. I feel like I was responsible for you going viral last week when I asked you the question about intensity. You talked about swag surfing and everything. So we did see you swag surf at the end.
I love
it. Did anyone teach you how to do that? And then also just talk about how great it was just to celebrate with the team like that after a win like that.
It's so fun. It's why you play. It's why you play. And I was taught this week by Taylor Rooks with Amazon. Did a sit down with her, and she's from Atlanta, and she taught me how to do it. But the key is when the beat drops. It kind of initially just kind of gets going, gets everybody in the stadium aware of it. But when the beat drops, that's when it really gets going. And I don't know, it's good energy. There's a lot of good songs they played throughout the game, good environment. But that one does it for me.
Kirk, physically, you look like you're 100%. Do you feel that way, like you're like 26 instead of 36?
That's a good question. I think I feel somewhere in between there. I feel good. I think being a pocket passer, and I've talked to some retired quarterbacks and have asked them, do I need to be a scrambler to maintain the production in this league? Because there are so many talented running quarterbacks. And the feedback I've gotten is, no, you're always going to have to do it from the pocket. You're going to have to be accurate, and that's the key. And so that's kind of the way I've always played, and I think it sets me up well, as I get older to be able to still do it, even if my body isn't at its best, because standing back there from the pocket, you don't have to be quite the same athlete. But, no, I feel good.
So do you feel you fully recovered from the injury?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I do. And then there's always the bumps and bruises that come from playing. My thumb hurts right now. My left knee hurts. Like, you're always going to have stuff, but just play through it.
Kirk, 2 questions. One, you were here Sunday, and you were, I think, kind of downcast. You were talking about going to have to send a lot of voice memos and all those things. At what point, and I don't know if it always works this way, at what point did you start to think, okay, I think this offense is going to take a step forward on Thursday night? And then the other thing is, does this feel like this is how I normally play, or was it like I feel really, really sharp tonight? How would you kind of
I felt like it was a drive in the second quarter when I threw a couple passes where I was basically anticipating where Kyle was going to be or where Drake was going to be. I was ahead of it a little bit in a good way and threw it decisively, and I thought I just haven't been that decisive the first few weeks. I've been trying to kind of ensure that that's where they're going and ensure that that's what I'm seeing before I let it rip, and felt tonight there was a little bit more now after 4 games. No, I know where they're going. I know where they're going to be. I'm going to let that rip early, and I think that helped me. And so the anticipation, I think, took another step tonight. And that's what I was used to kind of having when you've played with guys for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And I can feel it starting to come.
Kirk, you
second drive, touchdown drive, you all were able to overcome penalties, which you weren't able to do on Sunday when he gets the 25-yarder. Can you discuss, how y'all had to dig in and overcome a couple first and 20?
Yeah, I said in the fourth quarter to somebody, I said, I'm sick and tired of 1st and 20. We were having a hard time. You shouldn't be able to overcome it, really. I'm glad we did a few times, but it's not the recipe for success. We got to avoid these penalties, and some of them are hard to know what exactly took place, but and even a 5-yard penalty is a lot more manageable than these 10-yarders or 15-yarders. So, we've made life tough for ourselves at times with these penalties.
Kirk, you mentioned it not too long ago. You were talking about taking a step in the right direction with this offense. I know that you always want to improve things. You'll watch the film and find things to fix. But how much was tonight an indicator of not only what you think you guys are capable of, but where this offense is going?
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. It's such a week-to-week league where it can be all over the map. You just never know what the next game will bring and what the next game will call for. But when you have 81 snaps and 58 pass attempts, you certainly get some opportunities to spread it around, and we were able to do that tonight.
And then you've clearly played in a lot of crazy games in your career. Where does this one sit for you?
This is up there. I've played in some crazy games. I've been on the losing end. And so to come out with one like this in overtime, walk-off, at home, on a Thursday night against a good football team in the division. It was a great performance. It showed a lot of character, resilience. We kind of had to claw our way back into the game late, and gratefully won the coin toss. And it was a big night. One I'll remember. Yeah.
Kirk, just to follow up on that, when you threw the pick, did you think it was over, and what did you see?
I kind of did, Jared. I kind of felt like 4th and 15. I was thinking I needed to go up to Drake and throw a high ball to Drake, but I don't know. I saw a window to Mooney, and then I didn't get to put as much on the ball as I wanted, and Tay made a great play. I walked to the field thinking, there it is. Weren't able to do it. But defense stood up, forced them to punt, which was a big deal, and then found a way and played with fire a little bit by trying to rip that slant in there and get a silent clock with 1 second left. But we did it, and then Coop made the kick.
And when you win games the way you guys have the past, 3 out of the last 4,
Yeah.
could have been 4 out of 4.
Yeah.
What does that do for kind of the psyche of this team or the confidence
Yeah, I think
that
it,
you can?
it may remain to be seen a little bit. We've got to go prove that we're building character and that we can build on it because that's still out in front of us. But we also found a way to lose one of these games, against the Chiefs. So it goes both ways, and that's pro football. But we got a lot of young players who have. I sat with a guy pregame in the hotel eating the pregame meal, and he said, "I've never played a Thursday game." I looked at him like, "I played like 12. Like, what do you mean you never played one?" He said, "Yeah, we did. It might have been in the league 2 years. We've never had one." I thought, "Oh my goodness." So sometimes I'm reminded how young some of these guys are, and so to put these experiences on the wall, I think helps us build in the right direction.
Kirk, you might have been asked this, right, but that you did this on a night where Matt Ryan, you break Matt Ryan's record, night that he goes up in the Ring of Honor. Does that mean anything else different to you that happened on this night specifically?
No, I just wanted Matt to be able to have a special night, and be able to kind of enjoy all that he's earned and worked for. He was just so consistent for so long. That's probably above all just I know how hard it is to keep showing up week in and week out, year in and year out, stay healthy and be productive and be consistent. That's who Matt was. And you talk about character, grit, resolve. I mean, he had all that in spades. And, I remember being a rookie and watching him play, and I was just a backup and just trying to almost, study him from the sideline because I admired his game and wanted my game to look like his. And so, I saw him. He was walking out as I was walking in at halftime, and I just said, "Hey, Matt," and kind of grabbed his attention and said, "Congrats." It's something that it's pretty special. I don't know that I'll have an opportunity to be in a Ring of Honor, so it's a special deal for him to be able to do that.
And for you tonight to hit 500, does that mean anything to you specifically? And have you hit 500 at any
I had,
point in college?
Fitzy asked me on the field. He said, "You hit 500 in Pop Warner?" I said, "No, I didn't hit 400 until the NFL." And then this is the first time doing that. But honestly, needed an extra quarter to get there with overtime. But Zach kept putting the ball in my hand, gave me a lot of at-bats, 58 attempts, 81 plays. It's amazing what you can do when you're out there on the field and get more chances.
What did you say to Kadero when you made the touchdown, got up to him, finally saw him in those moments? And then
Yeah.
also just wasn't mean for a guy like that who's not the number 1, number 2
Right.
receiver to step up in a huge moment?
Yeah, he only substituted him because Drake was down for a second. And, Red, we call him Red, he just, has made plays all through camp. He shows up on special teams all the time. When you're coming from Prairie View, to get noticed out of college, you got to have some serious tape. And you got to put stuff like he did tonight on tape to get noticed. And so it doesn't necessarily surprise me once he pulled out of that catch that he ran away from everybody because I thought that's probably how he got it in this league, and that's probably how he stayed in this league is because he can do stuff like that. And so grateful we didn't have to trot our red zone offense out there on the 3-yard line, and he just ended it. That was what a great play by him.
A couple people in the locker room had suggested that you guys really had to go away from your game plan tonight, of what you guys came in with, and kind of sling the ball a little bit more. Is that pretty accurate? Or?
I think Zach was planning to sling it around. I don't know. He could probably tell you. I think Zach felt as we got going, he just felt like that was our best chance tonight. And when you do that, you know, you open yourself up a little bit to some sacks and some challenges that come with throwing the football. But, you know, try to stay in positive down and distances to keep giving us that chance. And asked a lot of the O-line when you have 58 pass attempts. And so those guys really handled that and just did a great job protecting all night. Thanks. I need to get some sleep.